welcome to the Strictly Casual Podcast, your one and only weekly roundup for this week's weekly gaming news. We're your hosts. I'm James Walmer.
I'm Vincent DeSantis.
And Vince, what have you been playing this week?
I'm glad you asked.
Good.
I'm playing Fallen Order.
Okay.
So I just finished Fallen Order on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty blown away, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I had kind of low expectations because Star Wars games in the past 5 years hasn't really tickled my fancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the story looked pretty cool and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing it, just finished it, beat it.
Sure.
And let me tell you, dude, what a dope Star Wars story.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me.
One of the most scrutinized parts of the game is Cal Kestis. This guy right here.
Okay, what do you like?
As in terms of depth,
right?
Just in terms of overall character development.
Okay, so
what do you think about Cal Kestis just as a character?
I think Cal Kestis starts as the character. They start him off strong right away, in they give him a lot to build off of.
Okay.
But I think in the middle of the game, there's a lot less story beats.
Sure.
And I think the character gets lost in the adventure, right, that they have him go on. But I think that quickly gets fixed within, I don't know, on the second or third act of the game, in my opinion. And then the story finishes strong, really good, with his character getting more developed. Try not to spoil anything.
Right.
Yeah, as it goes on, I think Cal Kestis is probably top 5 Star Wars characters for me now.
Wow, that's a big claim.
Yeah,
wow.
Easy.
Do you think that the game has a pacing problem?
I think it could have a pacing problem if you're not used to having a little bit of... It has a little bit of a lull in it, in my opinion.
Sure.
But I think that the gameplay mechanics are so clean and easy to get invested in that it doesn't feel like it's a lull. Yeah, cool. And you played it. You beat it.
Yeah, I beat it. I beat it a while ago.
What do you think about the pacing of the game?
So I am huge collectionist in games. And so I took right before you're in the last part of the game, I went out and I did everything I could because I knew that if I waited till after the last part of the game, I wasn't ever going to go back to it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I went and I got all the chests and the saber parts and everything like that.
Yeah.
And all the ponchos. So then I had all that for the final fight and all that stuff. But so it dragged on a little bit for me and it became more of a chore. But I don't think that detracted from the overall experience of the game. That was my own decision. And I think if I chose not to do that and if I just went straight and followed the story all the way through, I don't think I would have had such a grind in the middle of it.
See, I didn't have the discipline to do that. I was the story was so good. I was I have to see what happens next.
But I respect that. I really do.
Yeah.
Cool.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Right. And I'm enjoying it. I really am. It's a lot of fun. The game world has a lot of unexpected diversity. Right now I'm more in a deserty area of the map. I never finished it, so I probably played it for about 4 hours once I got it after it dropped to a $20 price tag with the Beyond the Wilds, Frozen Wild, whatever it's called. The
Frozen Wilds.
The DLC. Yeah. And then I took a very long hiatus from it. Very long hiatus. Probably for 3 years.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, pretty long time. And coming back into it, it's hard to get back and invested in specifically the character aspect. The mystery of the whole, what are these machines? How did they really get here? What is their role in this world, in the ecosystem? Has a lot yet to be discovered, and that does intrigue me. That does grab me. But what does not is the character dialogue, which there is so much of.
Okay.
And so what I did was I took off the subtitles. Normally I'm a big subtitles guy because it keeps me more engaged.
Right.
But I found myself skipping through a lot of the dialogue because I was just reading ahead. And so I'm like, okay, maybe if I turn the subtitles off, I'll be more engaged with the characters and their cadence as they have these conversations. But so far, it's a little bit better in keeping me a little more engaged. But it's kind of still not doing it for me.
Okay. See, I haven't played Horizon yet. So that's my... After I completely beat Fallen Order, go back and get all the... Yeah, 100% platinum. I'll jump into Horizon because I need to play it before Horizon 2. Allegedly.
Right. Oh, allegedly. Okay.
All right. We got a couple pretty interesting things on the news, in my opinion. So.
Yes, we do.
Here's what we got. We're going to start off with Cyberpunk Delay and updates about the delay. So, yeah, let's get right into that. So, last week, CD Projekt Red tweeted from their official Twitter account, "We are currently at a stage where the game is complete and playable, but there's still work to be done. Night City is a massive, full of stories, content, places to visit, but due to the sheer scale and complexity of it all, we need more time to finish playtesting, fixing, and polishing. We want Cyberpunk 2077 to be our crowning achievement for this generation, and postponing launch will give us the precious months we need to make the game perfect. Expect more regular updates on progress as we get closer to the new release date. We're really looking forward to seeing you in Night City. Thank you for your ongoing support." So this statement was released like a week and a half ago-ish. Sure. This was surprising to me, at least. I thought after, I don't know, it's been in development for how many years now? Like 4-ish. Like that we've known about.
Right.
It could be way longer. So it was supposed to release in April on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Now it's being delayed till September. That's what it says, right?
Right.
Yeah. September. Which is a little interesting.
Yeah.
Because we all know something that's going to be happening in the later part of this year.
And according to some rumors, the PS5 could potentially be released in October, which would only give it a 1 month gap between the release of the console and Cyberpunk. But one thing I noticed, and I never noticed before, but when you were reading it, I noticed it. They say, we want this to be the crowning achievement, our crowning achievement for this generation, end quote. And that's what got me this time. I was like, oh, maybe they don't have plans to release 2 separate titles, or I guess on 2 separate platforms. I guess the backwards compatibility plays somewhat into the fact.
Right.
Right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the backwards compatibility of... it's already known that the PS5 will have backwards compatibility.
Yes.
We don't know how far.
Right.
But for
There's
sure
rumors
PS4.
for how far, but yes. For sure PS4.
Which would give an easy change from the PS4 to the PS5 because you can play all your PS4 games, right? So this delay is interesting. I don't know. I want to believe that I can play this in upgraded graphics, updated resolution, updated frame rate on the PS5. Now, I don't want to wait another month to play this game.
No. But
you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. You really do.
So this delay led to lots of speculation about whether it's releasing again on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. A lot of interesting rumors about how the game isn't performing well at all on the PS4 and Xbox One, and how it won't even be able to run. That's why they're delaying it all these months. So there's a little update we got this month. CD Projekt, this is from Zarmena Khan at PlayStationLifestyle.net. CD Projekt Red says there's no hidden agenda behind Cyberpunk 2077's delay. So this is on the CD Projekt Red's official forum. This is quoted. Cory Barlog, who is the director of God of War, Cory Barlog hit the nail on the head. Of course we're optimizing the Xbox One for the Xbox One and for the PlayStation and for the PC, because that's what you do in the last stretches of game development. While the game is made, lots of things are unoptimized because they're all in flux, changing and still not finished. So simple answers like, they delayed the game because of blah blah blah, make for good rumor, but don't hold a lot of truth. There's always many reasons. Among them, I can speak for myself, simply fixing bugs so that the game is as polished as possible. No hidden agendas, just working on making the game better. End quote.
Now,
What do you think, James?
I think it's fairly, at least to me, fairly obvious that he's getting at next gen release.
God, I hope.
Because you kind of have to, because it's holiday. They said holiday 2020, and they're pushing the game to a point where it's right before holiday 2020. So close. So I think he knows that that's what everyone's thinking.
Sure. I mean, how could you not think this?
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, in all the gameplay we've seen,
sure.
The trailers,
yeah.
Keanu Reeves. This is going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
I would say it sells more than The Last of Us Part 2, which is already, I think, going to be the biggest game.
You think it's going to sell more than The Last of Us 2?
Only because this is launching on PC and Xbox also.
Okay, that's fair.
But other than that, I think that Last of Us 2 will sell right underneath this. Obviously, they don't want to just release on PS5 and Xbox One X or Series X.
Or One Series X.
Yeah.
Or Xbox Series X. Yeah. There we go.
They're not just going to release on that because they're going to miss a huge window of the 100 million people who already have a PS4 and the 70 million that already have an Xbox One. That's a huge market they'd miss out on, right? So if they release it on the PS4, I'm absolutely sure it would be an either free upgrade to the PS5 or maybe a small, or no, hey, if you could play all the PS4 games on the PS5, this should be able to do it.
Well, my question is, and this has yet to be kind of talked about by Sony, is because the architecture is so similar to a PC, if I put a new graphics card into my PC, I could just be like, oh, graphics, boop, up.
Yeah.
2K resolution, 4K resolution, whatever. So my question is it still going to be, can that carry over into the next generation where we're going to be able to play PS4 games and updated resolutions, fidelities, and frame rates on PS5? But again, does that also miss a marketing opportunity for them to sell another unit for people who really just can't wait for the game?
Sure.
Who are going to want to play it on PS4. And then they're like, oh, well, now I got to play it on PS5 since that's out.
Yeah.
So then you buy a game twice.
So there's two things here.
Okay.
Realistically, do you think it's going to be delayed again so it has a simultaneous launch between the PS5 and the PS4?
I don't think it's going to get I don't think it's going to get delayed again.
Okay. You think this is it? They released their announced date.
Maybe a second release.
Okay.
That's
Sure.
Potentially. But I honestly think it'll come down to how the backwards compatibility works.
Sure. Okay. All right. Interesting.
That's what I think. That's my hot take.
So this is a great segue. To my favorite topic on the news today.
Also, just so you guys know, we're both PS4 gamers. We game exclusively PS4. I have a PC, not here at college, but back home I do. We have an Xbox in the apartment. It's just not ours.
We're not blind to Xbox, but we're definitely more informed on the PlayStation side.
Right. Anyway, go ahead.
So the last week or so, there's been quite a few PS5 leaks. Now, these leaks come from weird sources on Reddit or 4chan or wherever, right? And so this is a lot of speculation here. None of this is guaranteed truth right now. This is
all rumors.
Some of this stuff is pretty cool though. Pretty cool. We can only hope. So, James, when is the PS5 supposed to be, supposedly, according to this leak, when is the PS5 supposed to be announced officially?
According to this leak from Chris Smith at a source called BGR, says PS5 This follows the previous leak saying that it'll be unveiled.
This is the second
February
leak to back this up.
Right. So there was previously a leak that said that the PS5 will be unveiled on February 5th and cost $500, $499 US dollars, when it launches in October. Like we said before, a month gap between the release of Cyberpunk 2077.
So previously for the consoles,
right.
The PS4 was released in November.
Yes.
So this is earlier.
Is this even still considered holiday?
I mean, season? It's got to be.
Sure. I mean, Halloween, that's kind of a holiday.
But I think there's got to be a reason that this says October. I mean, obviously, this is a leak, so we were reading into it. I mean, none of this could be right. We could be proved wrong in the next couple of days. Who knows, right? Would they want to do October to get ahead of the Xbox One? Oh. Because another point in this leak says that both consoles can't afford to launch at any less than $500. Which is going to mean major competition here. You have two next-gen consoles launching at the same exact price with very similar specs.
Right. Very similar.
So is Sony trying to get ahead of Microsoft's launch window? That would be smart.
It would be smart. It would be very smart. And which is kind of like a double down on their previous track record, because PS5 is already so far. I mean, PS4 is so far ahead of Xbox One sales.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like significantly. Like PS4, there was just like a new stat. I don't know. It's not the highest most selling console, but it's somewhere in like the top 5 most selling consoles ever. Right.
I'm trying to pull up the statistic.
All right. Yeah. So, let's see. Sony also last week pulled out of E3, which is big.
That is big. Okay. See, I found the article and it says this is from Fortune.com. Oh no, here's one from Polygon too. From Fortune.com says PlayStation 4 becomes the second best-selling home video game console of all time. This is from Chris Morris, and
that's huge.
Topping the charts at 157 million units.
Wow, I was way off. I said 100 million earlier, and I was way off.
57 million off.
You know, just small numbers.
Just small numbers.
Casual.
Yeah.
So, Sony pulled out of E3 for the second year in a row.
Which people thought they were gonna like surprise, be like, "Oh, we're back. Surprise!"
Yeah, but here we are, new games, baby. No. So instead of attending E3, this leak claims that Sony is to hold a second event close to E3. Presumably, like they would present whatever they would have presented at E3.
Right.
But this would be a venue just for them.
Right.
This was probably a state of play. Let's be honest.
What if they just take the tent from the last E3 that they did, where they unveiled Last of Us 2, and they just like pop it up? It's the same exact tent.
As long as they bring the guy that did the music the last time.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm in.
Incredible.
Yeah. Incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Okay, so they're gonna have one event close to E3 and the final event before the consoles launch. Oh my gosh, a final event before the consoles launch for last minute details.
Yeah.
So at E3, maybe they announce, or at their state of play before E3.
The event or the state of play?
The event. I'm assuming the event is going to be a state of play.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm thinking because it differentiates from another state of play stat, I thought it was going to be something separate.
Sure. I mean, they have to have an event for the press, for journalists.
Right.
They have to get information out there somehow. If they just do a state of play, I think they're going to lose that hands-on experience that I think people really love to watch, really love to see, and I think
read about, and so on and so forth.
I think that influences a lot of people's decision about the console.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
So, Sony is trying to go for a 2 terabyte solid-state hard drive.
Right.
Within the PS5,
which is rumored to be faster than the Xbox Series X's drive, whether that's a hard drive or solid state drive. Do you know whether it's supposed to be a solid state drive?
Got to be.
I mean, it's got to be. It has to be.
It's next gen, baby.
But even then, it's supposed to be rumored faster.
The new leaker also says that Sony has a slight edge over Microsoft in its solid-state hard drive, but the Series X will also cost $500.
Right.
I think the other features that it was all the leaks have said was that the Xbox Series X and Sony's PS5 have very similar graphical capabilities, frame rate capabilities, just stats in general.
Right. And I'm looking at the article here, and it says, I don't really know what this means, Vin, but it says, a leak recently suggested that the PS5 dev kit comes with 1 terabyte of flash memory on board.
Cool.
Which, yeah,
I don't know. Cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, so if we got a terabyte going in for the dev kits,
you
can assume they're working on something like that for the
real thing. Yeah.
Mass production.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is super interesting. This next point, I was like, I don't know why this is a thing. I'm kind of excited for it.
Oh, yeah. This is weird.
Okay. So according to this leak, the PS5 will be able to play multiple games at the same time and have up to 3 games suspended while playing a 4th game. What?
I just really don't. Here's my thing. I just don't know why that would be. I guess so. You'd be like, okay, I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna play a different game without having to back out and exit.
Sure.
Or, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to search for a match in COD, but at the same time I'm trying to pop over, play some Binding of Isaac while I wait or something. But I don't know. It's just an odd concept.
I don't know. For me, I'm playing maybe 2 to 3 games at once. I'm playing a single player game.
I'm the same way.
And I'm playing a couple multiplayer games, maybe one just with friends, and then one that I enjoy playing.
Right.
So, I mean, that might be cool for the multiplayer games to jump in just back and forth. But for the single player game, I'm mostly jumping into those to get a story and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be playing 20 minutes of Fallen Order and jumping over to play an hour and a half of COD, jumping over to play 20 more minutes of Fallen Order.
Right.
You know?
And I just don't see the case for wanting to I'm just going to jump right back into action.
Sure.
I guess that's it's a cool thing, but I just don't think it's entirely necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out and whether it's even true, because this is all rumored in the first place.
So on top of that, the leak says the console will apparently run different instances of the same game at the same time. This is
So
explain this to me.
In my head,
right?
This is if I want to play Call of Duty and I want to run this instance of the single player,
sure,
and this instance of the multiplayer, and I can just switch back and forth. I'm playing single player, playing Call of Duty single player mode, and then my buddy invites me to a game, so I hop over to multiplayer, and then I just go right back to single player after the game because I really just want to play a single player.
That sounds like the best way that this could
that does sound like
I don't know if I'd want to play a single player game where I can be running an instance of me playing an hour and a half ago. Why would I want to lose that progress and go back? So that makes sense. That makes great sense,
especially in more single player games where there isn't as many checkpoints or places to specifically come back to.
Yeah. So there's a couple more points here. This one's also this is our last point.
This is our last point.
The PS5 leak.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So, this is cool. We've already known that the PS4 games will be able to play on the PS5. But this article states that Sony is working on backwards compatibility all the way back as far as the PlayStation 1, even compatible with PSP and Vita games.
Which is interesting. I never would have even thought.
That's the entire PlayStation discography on one console.
Well,
that's insane.
It doesn't imply that that's all at one time. It could, Xbox with their Game Pass, they do 2 Xbox One games, an Xbox 360 game, and an original Xbox game. And so I think I can see them doing the same sort of thing, for this. And then if the rumors are true, where PlayStation Now is going to be revamped, I can see that being a part of it and almost adopting the same sort of system as an Xbox Game Pass.
Right. Let's get PlayStation Now as good as Xbox Game Pass right now.
That's the dream.
God,
Vin, I would love that.
Can you imagine? Oh, okay. PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus is bundled all in one.
I would love that
for a nice small price.
Okay. Of
God,
speculation.
How much is Plus already right now?
Oh man, I think I pay $60 for a year.
Right.
I think
You can get it like $40 on sale sometimes. Stuff like that.
$40 on sale sometimes.
Okay, let's say it's. No, there's no way it's $5 a month. It's gotta be like it's $10 a month at least. No, something like that.
Can we put it into a yearly?
Sure. Okay.
Subscription?
$60, subscription for the year. Let's say PlayStation Now. It's too expensive, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'd like to pay. I could pay an extra $20 a year for Now.
I was thinking the same thing. $80 a year.
Any more than that, I'm out.
Yeah, and then of course sales.
Sure.
Sales, maybe bringing it down to $60 a month.
Yep. Yeah.
And then calling it there.
God,
maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows? But you forgot one point on this because we already said that both consoles can't afford to launch at any less than $500.
Right.
But what they're fighting for are exclusive games, and this is fairly supported by some of the recent articles that are out.
Yeah.
And Microsoft in particular is really trying to pick up. So like this happened with Hellblade 2, right? Because the first Hellblade, Sensuna's Sacrifice or whatever it was called.
That's right.
Right, because that game was multi-platform. And then Hellblade 2's trailer came out at, I don't remember what event it was at.
It was at Game of the Year. What is it? The Game Awards.
The Game Awards, yes. And then... And then...
So now we have basically nothing confirmed yet for exclusives for the PS5 yet. I'm sure we'll get that soon.
Right,
but Xbox is launching with Halo.
But my point was that Xbox gained exclusivity for Hellblade 2.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a war back and forth. And exclusives are going to sell this next console.
Which I hate because I was reading all these articles and everything about how everyone's saying like, oh, our exclusive's going to be able to survive on the next gen. Mm-hmm. Which only time will tell.
They're going to have to. That's how either Sony's going to win or that's how Microsoft is going to win. It's going to be exclusives.
I hate it because that means that the developers themselves aren't getting as much money as they could be getting.
But those developers have been working with either Microsoft or Sony.
You're right. So they're just giving them out money to work on their games.
Yeah.
I guess so.
All right. And we will be right back.
And we're back. So the next thing on the agenda is I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was yesterday we got an Apex Legends Season 4 assimilation trailer. And so, with a release date, I think it was of February 4th, I want to say.
Yeah, early February.
Early February. And I've been out of the Apex spectrum for a while.
Let me ask you this first.
Sure.
Apex drops randomly out of the blue.
Right.
Before you played it, were you interested in Apex?
No.
After you played it, were you interested in Apex?
Yes.
I think Apex kind of slapped. I'm not gonna lie.
I enjoy Apex. I really do.
I think, but I burnt out fast. I got on it. It was cool because it was a new thing. Obviously, it's battle royale, and I was like, okay, battle royale. But they do it great. I think I was never a big Fortnite guy. Sure.
But I really enjoy Apex Legends.
Unfortunately, tell that to my 500 hours on Fortnite. I hate my life. It's real bad for that. Okay. But yeah, Apex is fun with friends, in my opinion. And I really dropped off when I didn't have anybody to play with on Apex. I think that's like any battle royale, to be honest. I mean, I'm not a big solo like battle royale guy, I guess. So I would say I fell off at the end of season 1. Or no, beginning of season 2. I remember seeing all like the dinosaur stuff come in for season 2.
I don't remember any of that.
Exactly. But it was fun.
Okay.
Apex was fun. Keeping up with the meta. Like, that's cool. I love that.
Do you have any, I guess, predictions or anticipations for season 4?
The trailer was badass.
It was really cool.
What the heck?
It was really damn cool.
It was awesome. I mean, like, I was not expecting to be like hype on a game that I haven't played in like, I don't know, 8 months.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. So I tried to re-download it right away. You know what I mean? So like I already got that baby re-downloaded, ready to go.
Wow.
I don't think I'm going to play this season at all. I'm playing too many things right now. But season 4, I'm ready.
Okay.
It looks sweet. And it has this kind of like cyberpunky vibe to it.
Yeah.
That I kind of love.
Trailer.
Yeah. And if they keep changing the map like they do every season,
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be really interesting.
So maybe like a city, like
Can you imagine?
metropolitan.
Can you imagine, bro?
That would be dope.
I'm in. That's all I need.
I'm all in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Heck yeah.
On Polygon, a man by the name of Michael McWhirter says Torchlight 3 announces overhaul of free-to-play model renamed Torchlight 3.
Okay.
So, Vin, you've never played Torchlight
Never played
before.
Torchlight. To be honest, I maybe have heard of it a couple times outside of when you came to me excited about this information.
Okay.
So you're going to have to describe, you're going to have to tell me about Torchlight here.
Torchlight is like, it is kind of a Diablo clone.
Okay.
Right? Same archetype, top-down, looter, hack and slash sort of thing with different classes. It's kind of set in a more steampunk-esque sort of context where it's a kind of fantasy but a little bit of like industrialism. So yeah, steampunk pretty much.
Okay.
And I remember the modding community was super big. For the second one, it had a lot of cool mods. It added a lot of extra playability. It was a lot of fun. Mechanics were super great. I never played a ton of it, but what I did play, I really enjoyed.
Sure.
And so I guess Torchlight 3, as it's now called, was originally called, I think it's called Torchlight Frontier or Frontiers.
Okay.
And excuse me, it was going to be a free-to-play model, but after a lot of the alpha, I guess, playtesters said that they just want it to be Torchlight 3, and they want to go back to the original kind of $60, $40, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You just pay one solid price and you get all the content. And so that's what they're going back to.
So me not being a big Torchlight or knowledgeable on Torchlight at all.
Sure.
So this free-to-play model, if I was a diehard Torchlight fan, am I excited about this free-to-play model?
Probably not.
So am I fine with it going up to its $40 or $60 price?
As a Torchlight fan or someone who's not a Torchlight fan?
As a Torchlight fan.
I think I, as a low-key Torchlight fan, am excited about this.
Okay.
Because this means a lot less of really tedious microtransactions.
Perfect.
Which I just despise.
Right.
The minute Destiny 2 got microtransactions, I was out.
At least they don't change the sandbox.
At least don't
that much. I've seen those emotes. God.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
It's what it is. But this next article,
I know you're stoked about.
I'm so excited. Okay.
Oh, I know.
I remember I was sitting in my buddy's kitchen and we were doing predictions for 2020.
Yeah.
And because this is what I do in my spare time. And we said, okay, Star Wars Battlefront 2, their cycle is ending kind of towards fall. They're going to put out a bunch of new original trilogy content.
Yeah.
But we're thinking, okay, what's next for Star Wars? Because we're pretty positive there's going to be a Fallen Order 2. Given the
There's got to be.
Considering the success. Did you see the...
Oh, yeah. This came out today.
Today.
It says that Fallen Order exceeded expectations. It was supposed to sell anywhere from 4 to 6 million copies. It's sold 10 so far. 10 million. Sorry.
I thought it was 10 million. I thought it was 60 million.
No way. I gotta look.
I gotta look.
Okay.
It's on Reddit.
I'll look. You keep talking about.
Sure.
That's the Old Republic here.
Right.
Oh man, that was a spoiler.
So according to, and this article has been cited by IGN and some other sources, but from this website called Cinelinks.com, it says Knights of the Old Republic remake might be back in the cards. And then it says it's an exclusive article by a guy named Jordan Mason. And, well, Jordan, I guess, is a gender neutral name, so it could be a woman. I don't know. It says that he had 2 independent resources, one of which helped him, quote, confirm our Ewan McGregor scoop from last year, end quote. Don't know really what that's referring to, but I guess it gives him some reliability and integrity. But this kind of came out of the blue and caught him by surprise, and says the previously mentioned Knights of the Old Republic remake, which I guess was placed on the back burner in 2016, and something that EA was not something they were actively pursuing. It was a game that EA was not actively pursuing. The Knights of the Old Republic remake is back in development, and his other source added to saying that it wasn't so much a remake, but it's a sequel. And what it sounds like is it's more of a spiritual successor. It says it would be a Knights of the Old Republic project that would integrate elements from the first 2 games in order to bring certain things into the current Star Wars canon. Not necessarily a remake, so as much a reimagining.
Now, that's an important line you said.
Right.
Bringing it into the Star Wars canon.
Right.
Which is important to me.
Right. I mean, I think it's important to the entire Star Wars community.
Yeah. So,
even though...
anytime you play a story, you don't want to nudge it off as like, oh, that was cool, but it doesn't really mean anything. You want to play a story that like has meaning inside the universe that you already love.
You want it to actually matter. Right.
Which is fair.
Right. So, they're probably going to take out aspects of the original or put in things that would go more along the lines of Disney's canon, which we don't really know a whole lot about for this frame of time because the Old Republic is something totally unexplored by the Disney canon thus far. I'm trying to think of references in like Clone Wars and
there's not much.
Rebel, but there's not much.
There's lightsabers from the Old Republic.
Right. And one of the big thing is like yellow sabers, which I think were a bigger thing.
Right.
But even then, that's not canon, so I guess that's not...
Well, I guess it's canon now.
No, I'm saying, like, you used to see a lot more yellow sabers in Knights of the Old Republic, but I guess if that's not canon, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But this is huge. We were saying that between Jedi Fallen Order 2, we think, and the end of Star Wars Battlefront 2's cycle, our prediction was we get a trailer or a announcement of kind of Jedi Fallen Order 2 or actually what we said was another Knights of the Old Republic game because the film is rumored to take place during the Old Republic. Yeah. So we're thinking that they would release a new one and they're saying, okay, while you wait, here is this remake remaster of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This is completely like our speculation.
That'd be interesting. I don't see that actually happening.
Okay.
Only because Knights of the Old Republic is still an attainable game. It's not like you can't buy it anywhere.
Well, that's true. It is on even iOS now.
Sure, which is weird.
It is really weird.
I don't mess with that.
But at the same time, there is like a gap in audiences where some people don't want to play it because it's just really dated. Yeah. Not saying it doesn't hold up, but it is dated and you have to kind of... The combat system is a little... I'm not going to say clunky, but it is dated.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I haven't played the whole thing, so I'm not an expert, but I've played enough of it to know like what it's all about. Now, I probably should play the whole thing, though. It's kind of a classic. You know?
It is a classic. Did you pull up that statistic on Fallen Order sales?
Yes, I did. So Fallen Order, it says it's sold 8 million. It was expected at 6 million. 6 million.
Sure.
It sold 8 million. And it'll be at 10 million by March.
And the original, what's it called? The projection was that it would sell 8 million by March, right?
Right. So I guess it's 2 million above.
Right. It's 2 million above the projected sales.
Which is huge.
That is absolutely huge. And it shows EA, the company that said that single player games were dead. Yeah. That they in fact are not dead and very much alive.
Good old EA trying to redeem themselves for the monstrosity that was the beginning of Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 1.
But now Battlefront 2 is fun.
Sure.
I like Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I mean it's improved.
It's definitely improved.
So we've had a couple more quick news stories before we round out the episode.
We do.
So this is interesting. Google's adding Metro Exodus as one of the 7 games to claim with Stadia Pro subscription. This is from Jay Peters at The Verge. Stadia. I forgot Stadia existed. Just kidding.
I think Stadia owners forgot Stadia existed.
God. So, hey, I'm glad Stadia is getting a new game, but this comes with a caveat, which is dumb. Listen to this. Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Samurai Showdown are leaving the
Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, me neither. Are leaving the service. Why would you take games off your service when your service isn't even selling well. You're trying to get as many people on this as possible.
This is, I think, I read a thing on Reddit that said the Stadia's been out for 69, now 70 days, counting today.
Yeah.
And
oh my God.
We haven't heard there's been no updates, announcements, anything for 40 of those 70 days.
Oh God.
It sounds like Google forgot about Stadia for a hot second.
And Google forgets about a lot of their projects.
And this happened on the 28th.
Right.
So this is the first thing that's happened in 68.
It's a long time.
And also, I was watching an Inside Gaming video about this. What was I? Oh my God, I totally lost my train of thought. I really did.
Yeah. Anyways, Google Stadia. Okay. It's...
Oh, well.
It's Stadia. We'll see how it goes. I'm still optimistic about it because I think the technology is pretty freaking cool.
Sure.
But right now I have zero incentive to ever go out and buy it right now.
The 3-month trial is about to end.
Of the subscription
service. So now they're expecting people to pay $10 a month to keep their Stadia Pro subscriptions.
Right.
Now, it was $120 controller bundle.
Save your money, boys. Yeah. I mean, everything's going to cloud eventually soon.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I wouldn't jump on this Stadia train until it's being amazing.
Honestly, I think if another company or another service was going to do something similar to Stadia, I'd be more invested. But because it's Google...
I'm telling you, PlayStation Now is going to be doing it in the next couple of years.
That's the hope.
Game Pass is like almost there.
The Game Pass is almost there. And now with Xbox Play Anywhere.
Exactly.
That's huge for...
We're going to get there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
So, sorry, Google.
All right, so PlayStation and Xbox's February games have been announced for PS Plus and for Xbox Gold. Yeah. So on PlayStation side, we have BioShock the Collection, The Sims 4, and Firewall Zero Hour, which is a VR game. I still haven't played BioShock. I played Infinite, but I haven't played BioShock 1 or 2, so I'm excited to jump into those for sure.
Yeah, I played... Sorry, did I cut you off?
No, you're good.
I played Infinite as well.
Yeah.
I played, I think, half of BioShock 1. And it was a little dated, but it does hold up.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it holds up. And they really do atmosphere well. And overall, I think it's a great game. I know the second one got a little more flack than the first, but I'm still probably going to play.
Right, yeah. I'm excited to jump in.
Again, all 3 of them.
And, Sims 4. It's a great time. Sims 2 was a great time. I haven't played anything since Sims 2 on my Mac. And then you do the commands like r/ or t/motherload and you get all the money.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can't wait. I can't wait to motherload on Sims 4 in a couple days, you guys. Holy
crap.
Me
and my buddies back home, we'd occasionally just revert to Sims language.
Yeah.
And we'd just be like, the Thinama, the Scooty.
Sure.
Just as a meme.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Anyway. Games with Gold. TT Isle of Man, that's like a motorcycle racing game.
Okay.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
And then Call of Cthulhu, which is a game that I'd seen scrolling past.
Yeah, I've heard of
it
too.
On the PlayStation Store. And I've oh, what's this? And then I just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
But for Xbox 360, Fable Heroes. I don't think that got a whole lot of critical praise. And then, but this one's actually kind of cool. For the OG Xbox, you have Star Wars Battlefront.
We're talking...
Original.
The only Star Wars Battlefront that exists. Exactly.
Just like that.
I'm stoked.
God, I peaked.
If I had an Xbox, this is all I would be playing.
Yeah.
Is Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. Because my PlayStation 2 days consisted of only Star Wars Battlefront. And that was it. And you know what? If the PS5 has backwards compatibility to the PS2, forget all these new releases. It's back to Battlefront, baby. You already know what's going on. All right. So we got one more here. Twitch Prime and Bungie have come to a deal. And there will be Destiny 2 Twitch Prime loot, offering old and new exotic and legendary items. So the first one is available to claim now. And there will be 5 different...
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's just I'm pretty sure it's just an engram, and then you also get Suros,
Okay.
the exotic auto rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the engram, it doesn't show you everything you can get for it, but I'm assuming it's got to be like year 1 and 2 exotics. I'm assuming they're not going to give you year 3 or Shadowkeep exotics, but maybe I could be wrong.
Sure.
So the first one's available to claim now. There will be 5 different packs coming throughout the couple months. This was announced by a community manager at Bungie. And it says the weapon pool is all the way from weapons, ghosts, ships, sparrows, emotes, weapon ornaments, and all of those will drop from previous seasons. So yeah, I'm excited. Free loot, baby.
Yeah,
why not?
Free loot. I just want to go over real quick 2 of the releases and an announcement. The Journey to the Savage Planet got released.
Yeah.
People are liking it. Nothing.
Sure.
Like, people are just enjoying it. Apparently it's a good time, but it's not perfect. Right. Just like any game's not perfect.
Yeah.
And then Kentucky Route Zero,
which has a dope trailer. I really like.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I think it looks
haven't
sick.
Watched the trailer.
It looks sick.
It's one of those very huge story games.
It's a click based.
Right, and a lot of people are referring to it as a visual novel.
Cool, I'm down.
Which is cool. I want to play it really
Small
bad.
Experience, I'm in. How's the reviews looking like?
It's broken up into per episode, but I'm looking on Metacritic about an 85.
Cool.
Average, which is good. That's really good.
That's amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Annapurna Interactive. Big fan.
What else do they do?
They do a lot of movies.
Oh, really?
And they're Annapurna. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. Interactive makes games. They did Donut County, like mobile games, stuff like that. Sure. But I don't know. Big fan. And the most important piece of news on the docket right now, James, what do we got?
Patapon 2 remaster, baby.
Patapon 2. Some people are stoked. I'm pretty middle of the road about this one.
Have you played Patapon 2?
I played Patapon 1.
Okay. I have never played a Patapon game.
It's a great time.
It's rhythm-based, correct?
Yes. It's like not side-scrolling, but kind of.
Sure.
Rhythm-based action-ish.
Yeah,
with weird characters and weird sounds.
Sure.
And there's like a really big cult following to Patapon 2. Right. So some people are absolutely stoked.
Greg Miller.
One of many. So yeah, Patapon 2, if that does it for you, I'm happy.
And that wraps it out.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 1 of Strictly Casual. This has been our first podcast ever.
First podcast, baby.
And we're so excited to bring you guys more content.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. There it is.
Have a great week. We'll see you guys in a week for another weekly news roundup.
That's right. We'll see you next Friday.